Okay, good morning everyone. This is Dr. Castillo. I'm just doing a video that I promised for a long time, how to create our progress note. For the purpose of privacy, we're using test cloud. And as you've seen, this page was on the schedule. I'll click on the schedule, I open, and this is what it's showing up. These sections over here can be modified as in the way that we want. Alright, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna clear everything and I'll let you know how you can modify those sections if you want. Now this video, how to create the notes, is gonna have probably two or three videos because it's gonna be too long just for one. Then I'm gonna go here, clear all the entries. This is an empty space. Then if you go to your side, you can click whatever you want to be in your notes, and you can have a default of whatever you like. I always have reviews, reason for the visit, a history of present in a review system, physical exam, plan, assessment and plan, but this is just my preference. The way that you customize that is just you go over here to EHR, you go to preference, you go to general. In general, you go to tab to your, well, let me just go back, cancel it. EHR, preference, and counter note. Then you have section. The section that you click over here, they will appear always in your note. Even if the medical assistant open a note for you, it will appear in your note. I have reason for the visit, history of present illness, I have past medical and surgical history, I have review system, physical finding, and assessment and plan. Then you can move this up and down as you want. Like I believe this is the order that they should be, but if you want to do any change, you just can move up and down. For example, on my physical exam, I have all the core up, and the pressure will be up because I use it in this way. You created the order that you want to have this section, and that's something that everybody can do in his own. Okay, I'm gonna cancel just one more time. EHR, preference, encounter node, section control, and then you click the one that you always want to have, and this is the order, and they will appear. If you want to change the order, you can move up and down. Then when you hear for your notes, you can do a note just typing from scratch and just doing a paragraph. That would be the worst way to do your note. It's going to be very difficult. But we have something called over here uh, forms on the EHR. The forms are created to make our job easier. Then we have favorite. Favorites, every time you use a favorite, it's going to be on your notes as the same way that the favorite was made. You still can change things, but it's going to be in the same way. That's why favorites are if I click here on favorite, you can see all favorites that you have available for you. If this is me, it's going to be your name over here, a chair. This is all the favorites that we have to share. I really encourage all of you to move around, play a little bit, look, because there is many favorites already saved on the EHR, and that's the easy way to do our progress now. But for example, you don't have any notes over here. Then if you click side, I want to have my active problem list. Usually I have this as default, but if you don't want, you can remove it. Your medical history, your family history. I think a medical history is very important. You should have it all the time. I'm not going to use it on this one because it's just a training. But you can move it all to there. The other way that you can add section onto your notes, imagine that you have this empty space. You click here section, you say, well, I have social history. I want to have on my section, I want to have my family history. I want to have a section physical exam. You start looking because this is not organized by up. This is put it alphabetic right now. Then we make it easy. Then we're gonna see. We're gonna review reason for the visit. You click and you add all the one. The system by default will bring whatever you have set up in preference. When the medical assistant open your note, that's the way it's gonna be. But if you want to have the family history for this patient, just one, okay, okay. And the family history, you can move it from whatever you have from here. I don't see no patient to copy history from. Okay, your previous encounter. If you want to use previous encounter, I do not recommend using previous encounter a lot. That tutorial to use it very often, but remember you cannot copy exact note from one to another one. But this is good. I really found this one very interesting for patients that have a very particular physical exam, someone with hemiplegia. You already saw the patient, you describe the hemiplegia in your physical exam, and you want to have that one every time the patient comes because that hasn't changed. Then you click here, previous. Then whatever you have in that note is going to be shown over here. Then if you click both are going to be in your notes. Let me show you. See, this is how it's going to be. But just let's say you have another note. If we have this is test close, remember. This is the wellness exam. You have all sections over here. You click the one that you want to bring to this current exam, and you can do it. For example, let's do it in this way. But for example, this patient, see, they have a reason for the visit respiratory. You don't want that because the patient do not have that today. Then usually you don't click on that one. But for example, on physical exam, general was normal. Suppose that this patient looked very sick today. You can just put reverse and normal and just look over here and find whatever you want for this patient physical exam, or just type over here abnormal, severe rash, and you can do that also. Then moisture was normal. You want to reverse that, finally you can click it over here and you put it at normal. This is just using previous note. Usually I don't do that. I use more fun to use my favorites because I think it's the easy way to do our notes. But it's really important that you work with the form, because the forms are the one who has all the information that you need. I'm going to clear everything we have over here and I'm going to go to form to show you what I mean. See, now you have allergies. Okay, let me click. Everything is empty. Well, just leave that one there. Forms. We have many forms over here. The one that I've been working a lot is the one on use. This is the one that has been used on the counter. Because since this encounter was open a long time and we've been playing around with the encounter, all those forms have been used in one way or the other one. Then this one is the one that we use very, very often. These are mine. I don't use this one pretty much ever, but I have it here because I use it as template when I want to create a new one or when I want to modify the old one. You will always come over here to chair. You have this one. Medical assistant Dr. Castillo to be using every patient. That's the one that they open every time that you see a patient. And that's the one who has the most amount of information possible. Then over here, when the notes are open, it's open always in review system and physical exam. The reason it should not be here, it should be here in review in reason for the visit. The reason I have it here because every time you work in this form, you just start in this one, And if I do my favorites at the beginning, this is I just have to do a click here, auto negative, and everything that was positive in my favor is not going to change, but everything else is going to cover with negative finding. But you can change this one if you want. It is very easy to change. You just let me know if you guys want to change it. But for example, the initial part of the notes is review system. It's the reason for the visit. Here, you have to go one by one and play with this one to really know what are your options. This patient came for physical exam. This patient, whatever you click over here is going to be showing over here, and that's what it is. Reason for the visit, you have nothing. This one is empty for you to type whatever you want to type. This is the way medical assistant is supposed to be doing. They're supposed to click it and find it. If this patient came from RX result, X-ray result, ultrasound, CT scan, so, you guys have to go one by one and see what are the options. Then everything you see a box, you can click, and that's going to be showing. But if you notice down here, this one do not have box. And why? Because when you click over here, where you have a reason for the visit, head and related symptoms, then everything is going to pop up over here. Headache, skull pain, scalp pain, sinus pain, many options that you have. Eye symptoms, the same thing. Neck symptoms, one by system and organs are all over here. I put some over here that are not easy to find. We have a patient who had narcolepsy, and then I use it for this patient, and I decide to add it here in case that he comes and I don't want to use a favorite. Neck symptoms. You have seen neck symptoms, you don't have a box. You have menopause occurrence. Then you can click over here. Whatever you click here, see, this is what is gonna be showing you in your notes. BC4 postmenopause bleeding. BC4 menopause occurred at age or whatever age. See, this is whatever is down here is what you're gonna see in your note. Then I have this one reason visit for PPD, the patient who come for tuberculosis screening. I have screening colon cancer. When you click on this, is someone who's gonna have colon. You want to refer to colonoscopy. What happened if you use the favorite for physical exam, they have all of those already in. Then you don't have to go one by one. But I'm going to show you what is in the form and how you can create your notes from the scratch. It's screening for neoplasia of the breast. Then this is your history of present illness. History of present illness, I have different tabs over here. You can check, and everyone has more detail. We have general, systemic symptoms. Then you have fever, you have sweating, chills, things that are general. You can choose it from here. You have all of this system over here. Then you have HPI. This one that had nothing. Then if you click on this box, you're gonna have a HPI box open, and this is what is going to be.